People often ask why my daughter is named Seneca. Now that you're old enough to answer that question for yourself, Seneca Jane Morton, I made this story for you. 3 years before you were born, I visited Seneca Falls, New York, widely accepted as a birthplace of the women's rights movement in the United States. With my mom and our friend Nancy and your 2-year-old brother, I toured the Women's Rights National Historic Park. I learned about some of the women who led the early charge for women's equality, including Mary Baker Eddy of the Christian Science faith, which supported women's rights consistent with its belief in female spiritual power, and which faith also appears on the maternal side of our family tree. The wall where the Declaration of Sentiments is carved recounts injustices toward women. I felt anger and sadness, but I also felt strong and emboldened at these women standing up for themselves and for us. I will never forget that moment. Later, when we heard the exciting news that we were expecting a daughter, and almost immediately learned that you had spina bifida and that your life would have a lot of physical challenges. Your dad and I started thinking about what to name you. I wanted a name that would draw on a legacy of womanly power. In our family, we already have a matrilineal name, Jane. It's my middle name and that of my mother and her aunt, whose sister was a Christian Science practitioner, and so forth, back to, what do you know, 2 women named Seneca Jane. Could there be a stronger, more beautiful name for you? Seneca after Seneca Falls, and Jane after the women in our family, and Seneca Jane after 2 of our female forebears. The combination of names is handed down, but it is now uniquely yours, Seneca Jane Morton, to give your own stories and strength. Love, Mom.